Hey gents, today I'm here with Lewis. He is a tailor. He runs Aspiring Gent. You can check him out on Instagram. I'll link to him below, but I'm also going to link to several videos that we're working on today where we're going to be repairing some chinos, trousers, and jeans. We're going to do them by hand. We're also going to be doing them with a machine. We're even going to show you how to taper up shirts, which is the main thing that I always tried to do but couldn't really accomplish, and so I asked Lewis to come down so that he can show me how to really do it. So we're going to look at doing some wool trousers. I have trousers here that are maybe like an inch too short. I'd like to lengthen them. I see there's enough material here to lengthen them, but it's pretty easy to do by hand.
Yeah, it's really easy to do by hand. Kind of actually pretty hard to do on a home sewing machine, so we'll show you that technique. And really cool skill to know because most trousers are sold either unhemmed or not at your right length to begin with. So as long as you have enough extra material in there, lengthening it won't be that hard.
All right, so to start off with, we'll link to a video where you show how to stitch, how to thread the needle.
Exactly.
And then jump back here and we'll show you how to do the blind stitch. And Lewis is gonna take a look and see what type of work we're gonna do.
So you can definitely see when they're nice and snug down. They're probably about an inch off of that perfect no break right at the top of the shoe look. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna untack all of the stitching that's already there, drop it down, press it, re-tack it back up.
On both sides?
Exactly, yeah. It looks like usually once you measure one side, you don't have to do the other side unless the person has a tendency to have a shorter leg on either side, which does happen from time to time, but
all right,
we'll do an inch on both. So we have the pants laying here on the table, and we already removed the ribbon from in here, which if you're dealing with custom clothing, you'll have more often than not. And as you see, it's already blind stitched on the inside, and what we're going to do is we're just going to take the seam ripper and we're going to pick it all out. You can use a knife, a razor blade, or something like that. I suggest using something like a seam ripper, which will help avoid from ripping fabric if this is your first time doing this kind of work. Otherwise, a knife would work if that's all you have on you. So here we go. And as you see, this is kind of the mark where the old one is, and we need to drop this down 1 inch. So we're going to grab a tape measure, ruler. You can use your tape measure, but it's a lot easier. We're going to go down from the hem 1 inch. Take the chalk. Now this is just generic tailor's chalk you can buy anywhere. Sewing supplies are sold. It's able to be seen really nicely on dark fabrics, but gets removed with steam. Like that, flip it up, mark the bottom side, and that is where we're going to roll it up and stitch it for the new hem. For the sake of not losing your mark, you can use pins. In this sake, I'm going to use a needle. Just mark it right where you want it to be, so that way you don't lose your spot when you press it if the marks go away. Next step is we're going to take the iron, we're going to press out this guy. We're going to take the iron, just press it on here, get some steam. What we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to measure up from the bottom. If your pants have already been hemmed, it might be a little bit uneven, but because this is freshly serged, we can use the bottom measurement. Otherwise, when you took your first mark, make sure you put enough pins to just remark it. But since I didn't have them on me, I'm just going to go 1.5 inches up from the bottom. Remake this mark. And to make life a lot easier on you, we're going to use the iron again to press the new crease. Take the pant, turn it inside out, and roll it up to that line you marked. And the reason why you want to iron it before you go and make this one is because getting rid of that old crease is important to do right off the bat. Otherwise, you'll see a crease through the pant leg when you're lengthening it. When you're shortening it, it's not that big of a deal, but always a best practice to do each time you do the hems on your pants. Same deal, take the iron. Alrighty, so with your threaded needle, you're going to want thread that matches the color of the fabric you're working on, or at least in the same darkness. In this case, we're using black. You want the thread long enough to be able to go all the way around so you're not stopping or having to patch anything in. So first thing you're going to do, tie your knot, Wrap it around the needle a few times, pull it through your thumb, index finger, cut off the tail. So you're going to start with taking the fabric in your hand like this. I like to pull the needle through the little fat flaps to hide the knot. It's going to start just like this. Take your needle, push it through the bottom fabric, and then here's where the blind stitching comes in. You're going to take the needle. On this one, we're just going to go right into here. Once you get onto the outside fabric, you want to be very careful only to grab 1 or 2 strands of thread so that it's not visible from the outside. And pull it through. Skip ahead. And do the same thing. Just grab a few threads of the material so that it won't show through, and pull. Stick your needle through this flap of fabric here. And you're going to go right into here, and you're only going to grab a few stitches because you want to make sure it's not seeing on the outside. So like that. Pull through. And you're going to want the stitches to be pretty close together so that your feet aren't snagging on the material. This is why you want to use beeswax, because it'll tend to bunch up on you. So once you get down to these last few stitches here, I like to end it on this little side seam because it's easier to hide the tacks. You just want to take it, pretty much how you end most hand stitches. Pull it through once, go in on itself, go through the loop, pull tight, through the loop, and pull tight. One more time just to keep the thread from undoing the knot. Snip it. There you go. Then you're going to want to just turn it inside out, check your work, and then press it one last time to make sure that everything is nice and laid out. And that is how you hem a pair of dress slacks.
So you have it, gents. Hope that gives you a little more confidence to do some DIY tailoring at home, whether you're hemming some pants, tailoring a shirt. Thank you to Lewis for coming out and working on this series with me. I've wanted to do something like this, but I've never had the expertise in order to say, like, this is actually how you do it. I just kind of fart around at it.
And yeah, grab some practice stuff, go home, get a machine, or do some of the hand stitching, and just go to town practicing, honing it before you actually go on your real stuff. But guys, it's super easy and anyone can do it.
Yep, so check out Lewis's channel. I'll link to that below. He's working on some really cool stuff, and I'll see you around on the internet.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right, till next time, gents, this is the Kavalier.